Welcome, everyone. I am so thrilled to have you with us today for another one of our monthly Zoom meetings with me and with the great and spectacular Marci Preble, and with the wonderful special guests that we have each and every month. We have new and different people who are experts in different areas of Lifewave patches. And today we have our friend Doreen McCafferty, who is certified in nutrition, yoga, and Pilates. And as most of you know, yoga has become an international religion. It's the only thing that everybody seems to agree about, which is that yoga is remarkable and it heals and it brings us into a deep state of coherence between the mind and the heart and the body. And so welcome, Doreen.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Welcome, Marci.
Well, thank you for having me. Always love being with you.
It is a thrill. So first, I'm going to tell you more about Doreen. She's been a health and wellness expert for 20 years, specializing in body, mind, and spirit. And if you're someone who's interested in Lifewave or already loves Lifewave, you know this is all about mind, body, and spirit. And she's certified to teach Pilates Reformer and Yoga. She's also a personal trainer, and her holistic wellness, business, life, spirit, mission, if you will. Doreen works with clients in other parts of the world as well, just as Lifewave is global. Doreen is global, Marci's global, I'm global, and we hope that you are as well. And Doreen specializes in so many non-invasive healing options. And she also trains other people to become holistic lifestyle practitioners. So I am thrilled to meet you now on our Zoom, Doreen, and we're really excited to hear what you've found with Lifewave.
Thank you. And thank you so much for having me, Susan. I'm so excited to be here and so excited to tell you what I've found with Lifewave, being that I work with mineral balancing primarily, helping people with non-invasive ways to chemically balance the body. And you can imbalance the body even with the wrong supplements. So through the hair analysis, I'm really able to hone in on exactly what a person needs. And therefore, over my many years of working with clients, I get introduced to all kinds of things. And most of them interfere with the balance I'm trying to do in the body. Even if they produce really good results for a very short period of time, they don't really balance the body and they disrupt what I'm really trying to accomplish. So when I was introduced to these patches, I was thrilled because the patches are just working with your body so that your body actually works efficiently to actually give you what you need to make your stem cells work, to make different hormones in the body actually work on their own. And even in my work as a holistic practitioner, I never worked with even bioidentical hormones. I never wanted to put things into the body. So the fact that we're just working with light, and light just produces and helps our body produce what it needs to actually heal on a deeper level is truly amazing and truly a breakthrough. And especially with stem cell. Everybody knows about stem cell. People want it, but they can't afford it. They don't want to have injections or invasive therapies that involve stem cell. So now we have something available to us that is non-invasive, does not disrupt the chemistry of our body, and works just synergistically with our body to help us heal.
And to have this kind of hair.
That's right.
Because I obviously came from the hairdresser today. And what did she say? Because she's known me for years. And she said, I can't believe that you have such thick hair now that you can have long hair again. I have not had long hair since I was, half of this age. And it's all because of the Lifewave patches. That's all of it. And Marci's hair is fabulous. Your hair is fabulous too. So I can say that.
One of the things I hear from my clients, one of the biggest complaints they have is loss of hair, female and male, losing hair. So yes, this is very, very important.
Right. It's from the most superficial and, down to every single cell in our body. And I know today, Doreen and Marci we're going to talk about people and ourselves where there have been remarkable healing breakthroughs. So I think, Doreen, the first person you wanted to talk about was Chris, and he's had digestive issues for 30 years, as many of us have. So tell us what his Lifewave breakthrough was.
Well, our breakthrough was really fun because we kind of experienced it together. So he has moved out of the state, but he comes back to where I'm at occasionally to work. And he was staying with me when my patches arrived. And so I said, hey, you want to wear these with me? And so we wore them. And within just a few days, he was telling me how much better he felt and how much it started to correct his digestive system almost like immediately. And then when he got back home, back to his home state in Georgia, he was calling me and saying, I have to have the patches. And immediately he was telling me that he had noticed a change in his body, not in what he was doing in his workout, but physically, how he responded to the workout. And so he was really feeling a difference almost right from the beginning and even more as he progressed. And immediately he does muscle activation technique, which is really kind of unique in and of itself. And he was able to begin using the patches as well with his clients so that he could take them out of pain and he could bring them into also a place where they could heal, and he could get further with what he was doing to help them heal using the patches.
I'm really thrilled to hear this. And I can say that clients that I have who I've introduced and friends who I have who I've introduced to the patches, after a certain age, almost every one of us have had digestive issues, like, for a decade at least. And when somebody calls me and says, well, you said that there was a high probability this would go away, but I really didn't believe you. It just seemed absurd to me. How is that possible? And I know you told me that it happened for you, but still, forgive me, I didn't believe you. And Susan, I really have to tell you, the digestive issues are solved. And it is a miraculous thing. We know it's real. We're not imagining it. And yet it seems impossible to even figure it out. We can't figure out how it happened, but that's what stem cells do, right?
Right.
Okay, Marci, maybe you would like to tell us about the patches. I'm so thrilled to have you on this show today.
Oh, I am so thrilled to be here today. And thank you so much. And let me tell you about how they work.
And we have 4 different ones we'd love you to talk about today.
Okay.
The X39, of course. The Eon, of course. And because Doreen is going to be speaking about the Glutathione and Silent Nights, if you would briefly describe all 4, that would be fantastic.
I would be happy to. So
thank you.
This is what it looks like. This is called X39, and it is the stem cell activation patch. The reason it's called X39 is because it took David Schmidt, the owner, inventor, and CEO, 39 times to get the right light wave to actually work in our body. We are a form of wearable light. So what does that mean to be wearable light? Well, have you ever been in the sun and you go out into that gorgeous sun and ultraviolet light reflects back to you and you elevate in your own body vitamin D? Isn't that amazing? Sun actually causes healing, actually much faster than pharmaceuticals or supplements, because it doesn't even have to be absorbed in the colon. It's going right through the bloodstream. Pretty amazing. So here's the fun fact. We as human beings are light. We are little suns walking around. And how do I know that? Because David told us. And basically what that means is we have heat that comes off of us. We are heat beings. That heat is actually a low-grade infrared light. And so here's the cool thing. Here's the patch. I know it looks like a Band-Aid. When I first got it, I'm like, what are you giving me? Band-Aids? But when you open it up, it's so much more. Look inside. You'll see this white circle. It's actually organic crystal made right in David Schmidt's lab, and it's made out of amino acids, sugar, and water. And when you put it on your skin, remember, we are light, we are sun, the heat of your own skin activates this patch and reflects back a light wave in your body. It's a longer light wave, and it's called GHK copper peptide that it activates. And I like to say activate. I don't like to say makes more or makes less. It balances the right amount that you need. Remember how Doreen said it's the right balance that you need to work in your body. And what GHK copper peptide does, when it's balanced correctly, it acts as a telephone to your stem cells. It calls up your stem cells and it says, hey, it's time to work again. Let's get that army marching in your blood again. Let's make more of you, and let's reset you to a younger, healthier state. And guess what your stem cells say? Hey, thanks for calling me. It's about time. We didn't know what to do unless you talked to us. Kind of like when you finally get a call from your kids. Hey, it's about time you called me, right? Same kind of thing. So why is it important that stem cells start to march again? Well, by age 30, we've lost 50% of our stem cells. And by age 60, we've lost all of them. I ask you right now to take a piece of paper and a pen and write down your age. I'm 54. I'm writing it down, and I'll tell you why you're going to write it down in a minute. Okay, write it down. So now, what is going on? Well, when we're born with cells. They can be our brain, our heart, our connective tissue, our hair, right? They only can be one thing. And then we're born with these blank pluripotent stem cells. And they have the unique ability to travel up your bloodstream and turn into whatever cell your body needs for repair. Have you ever noticed when you were young, you never got sick, you didn't have issues, you didn't hurt, you fall down and you twist your ankle, it's fixed in an hour. That's called stem cells still working in your body. Have you noticed now I'm 54, 64, 74, my dad's 84. He's afraid that if he goes for a walk without his walker and falls and breaks a hip, he will not repair. His stem cells do not work anymore. So what this patch does is it tells your army to go and start working like you're young and turn into those blank pluripotent stem cells again and go and turn into whatever cell your body needs for repair. I don't know what you need, Susan. I don't know what you need, Doreen. I see Rob in the car in his phone, in his car. I don't know. Hi, Rob. I don't know what your body needs, but your body knows. And I do know this. It will go and fix the first thing you need fixed first, then the second, then the third, then the fourth. Sometimes what you need fixed first, you don't feel. And so know that some people notice something within the first 1 to 10 days. I would say 50%. 50% of folks need 3 to 6 weeks before they feel something because it's fixing an internal organ first. And so that's why David Schmidt, the owner, inventor, and CEO, gives us a 30-day money-back guarantee on our silver kits because he wants it to get in your system. Did you know on day 25, you can call the company and say, hey, I want to return. I want all my money back. They give you your money back and you don't even have to ship the product back. That's how much David Schmidt, the owner, inventor, and CEO, believes in these products. He owns the company. We're privately held. We don't have a board of director telling the man what to do. And guess what? The man's just a geeky scientist that's trying to live to 250 years, and we're along for the ride. Awesome, right? And so that's what's really going on. And it's really exciting. And we do have a patent, a 20-year patent. And the 20-year patent says that X39 activates GHK copper peptide in the blood, which stimulates stem cells. Okay. And he has I think over 100 patents, 70 in regenerative medicine, which means how do we live longer? That's what the man cares about. How do we live longer? Okay. So that's really what's going on. So that's why I asked you about the age, the 54. So we were at a meeting 2 months ago in LA, and David was talking about his patches and how things worked. And then he goes, well, we did a research study just off the top, right? And because that's what he does, research all the time. He loves to spend his money on research. What a concept. And he said, well, we checked people's blood, 15 people, their blood, and looked at age markers. And we did that. And then we put them on X39 for 6 months. Then we checked those same 15 people for age markers in their blood 6 months later. And what we found is they reverse their age, as it looks like from the age markers in blood, by 8 years. 8 years. I fell off my chair. I said, don't you think that's something we should know? So now what I want you to do, because I did this, put 54 on your sheet. If you've been on X39 for 6 months, you have permission to take 8 years off your age. I now am 46. Okay, and here's the funny thing, okay? We all started this for a healing opportunity. I got breast stuff that I've been dealing with from 2017. We all got something, and we started this to help us with the something. Here's the great side effect that we've noticed. Our hair's getting crazy long. We don't have to color it as much. I can't tell you the last time I colored my hair. Our skin is super soft. We don't get the turkey neck. I mean, who doesn't want, I got carded the other day. Who doesn't want to reverse their age as we're healing? So that is X39. Now, you guys wanted me to talk about some of the other patches. So
Eon, of course, because we always put on the Eon at the same time as the X39. And then also, honey, if you would briefly speak about the glutathione and the silent nights, because Doreen is going to speak about those today too.
Eon right there. So Eon, it's the same technology. The technology is the same, using the heat of your skin to reflect different lengths of light waves to activate your body. That's the wearable light technology. Okay, technology the same. Now, Eon just goes in and stops inflammation. It also increases something called SOD, superoxide dismutase, which is your master antioxidant in your body. So think about Eon basically like stopping inflammation and like making your own super potent, powerful vitamin C, but it's your own body. Think of it that way. And what's important about this is that David likes us to wear these two together, okay? X39 and Eon together, because Eon is stopping inflammation. And guess what? Inflammation is a killer of stem cells. So if you wear it together, guess what? Eon is stopping inflammation from killing the stem cell that's activating. So you are turbocharging the stem cell when you wear Eon, okay? That's really important. Glutathione. Glutathione, it elevates glutathione in your body. Glutathione, and Doreen will tell you more about it. It is naturopath's favorite. Have you ever heard of glutathione drips, glutathione IVs? Everybody's talking glutathione. Well, there's a reason. It's your body's main detoxification, and it's your other big, powerful antioxidant in your body. And glutathione pulls things out like virus, mold, fungus, toxins, metals. Okay, you get my drift, right? And let's be honest, we live in a very toxic environment. David Schmidt says, kids might not have needed all this back in the day, but now X39 glutathione kids need, because we are so toxic now, right? Our environment is not doing so well. And glutathione really helps pull all that from the nervous system, which is really important. So my 3 favorite patches for me personally is X39, Eon, and glutathione. And I really call this my detox and repair kit now. And I'll tell you, I wear a lot of different patches and I run out of them. But the 3 I never run out of, or I get stressed when I'm low on, is X39, Eon, and glutathione. Because it also it's not only a detox, but it busts lots of issues. I have skin issues. So I just throw them right on my skin issue and boom, skin issue, not there anymore. Hello, for me personally. So I don't go anywhere without these. Now, I also like Icewave. You can push that with it. Icewave, I like to say detox and repair. And then if you have pain, throw this with it. Icewave, you put the brown spot on the pain spot, the white patch about 2 inches away. But hey, if you got pain here and pain on your ankle, put one here and put brown here and put the white on your ankle. I want to give you guys permission that any spot will do. Our whole body is light. Our whole body is heat. There is no wrong. Just stick the darn thing on, okay? And so Icewave, it stops pain. It actually acts as a circuit breaker of pain. Do you understand that? Pain is in the connective tissue, and Icewave the brown and the white is like a circuit breaker of pain in the connective tissue. And I'm telling you, it works. Now, it's not reparative. X39E on glutathione repair, but shoot, isn't it nice to have Ice Wave to calm everything down while you're repairing? Ice Wave's good for pain. It's good for nervous system support, and it's good for spasms. It's lovely. The last patch I'm going to talk about is Silent Night. Silent Night actually works on melatonin. And once again, balancing melatonin. Okay. David talked about that in LA. For some people, it's going to raise. Some people, it's going to lessen. It's a balancer. All these patches balance, which is a very interesting piece. So melatonin, of course, helps you sleep better. And it's super good for a lot of different issues. So with that, Susan, I think I've talked about the 5 patches you asked me to talk about. You are so welcome.
As always, beautiful. Thank you. So, Doreen, you're going to tell us about how you injured yourself and how, thank goodness, you had the Lifewave patches and which patch you used and what the outcome was.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I had just gotten the patches, like I shared a moment ago. I had only been wearing them a couple days, and I went out to do a workout, and I gashed my leg, really severely gashed my leg, and I should have went to the hospital and got stitches, but I'm very stubborn, so I didn't do that. So I came home and I cleaned it out and took 3 extra large Band-Aids to just try to cover it up. And then I actually sent a picture over to the person who had introduced Lifewave to me. And I said, hey, I guess I'm going to see if this works. And she shared that with some other people in our network. And I ended up wearing the X39, glutathione, and Eon patches all around where the wound was on my leg. And unfortunately, you would have had to see it. And I wouldn't even want to show you pictures. It was very ugly. But I couldn't really get it to close, and I couldn't get the Band-Aid to close everything. So I had resigned myself to having a very large scar. As long as I didn't get infected, I was pretty happy with that. So I put those patches on, and within a couple weeks, the scar started closing. It shrunk. It shrunk so much, it was unbelievable to me. So even today, while I still have a scar there, it's very minute. I don't think it's done healing. I think it was very recent. This was only in June. And I really expect that it is going to probably heal with maybe no scar whatsoever, but it's very, very small. So that was very exciting. It was also not very painful, which was a very nice side effect. It was very ugly, but it didn't hurt as bad as I thought it was going to hurt. So that was really, really also a great plus by wearing those patches.
And Marci just reminded me that it's important for everybody to know that each patch you put on, each kind of patches, you wear for 12 hours on and 12 hours off. So sometimes we put them on in the morning and take them off 12 hours later. Sometimes we put them on before we go to sleep with it, and take it off 12 hours later. Obviously, the Silent Nights, which is the one for melatonin and sleep, very few people need 12 hours of sleep or can get that much. So the beauty of the Silent Nights is just peel it off. I wear it on my temple. Some people wear it other places, but you just pull it off. Now, that means you can wear patches, some kind of patches, for 24 hours. The key is the X39 and the Eon are on for 12 and off for 12. The glutathione, any one of the other patches, on for 12, off for 12. Okay.
And if I could say, Susan, that is, there's really no rules on these patches. Any spot will do. You can wear more than one. The only rule, as Susan says, is 12 hours on to activate and repair and 12 hours off. Your 12 hours on can be during the day or at night. The thing I just want you to know is the reason why. It's because we are light, and the signal is a light signal. So just like if you kept a light on for 24 hours over and over and over again, you burn the light bulb out. The reason you have to take it on and off is because your body would get used to the signal if it was on all the time, and it doesn't work then. So that is the only rule, 12 hours on and 12 hours off. Thank you, Susan.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And Doreen, I know that your daughter Kelly, has had challenges with sleep, and that the silent nights has really changed her life, as it has for me and so many other people. Would you tell us about that?
Yes. So I and my daughter both have suffered with some sleep, and I certainly started wearing the silent nights and noticed that there was a definite increase in sleep, the amount of sleep. And even more importantly, I know, like for me, what I noticed, because I wore an Aura ring right here. So I started looking at my deep sleep, and it had increased tremendously. So I try to have good sleep habits, and do the best I can to get to bed on time and all those good things. But one of the things I've been working on for years is not just how many hours I'm in bed, but how much of that time is in deep sleep. And so I noticed that I got more deep sleep. And I noticed that I will say it's really interesting, because Marci talked about this. It balances the body. So my daughter, Kelly, has taken melatonin before and actually got sick and actually couldn't even keep it down. So obviously she was probably not taking the right amount or whatever she needed. But with the patches, you don't have to worry about that. You just put the patch on and you're done. It balances the body. You don't have to worry about it upsetting your stomach. Is also, melatonin has really been known to also support our immune system. So it's really, really helpful for that as well. So thank you, Susan.
And, I'm thrilled because I've been using melatonin for about 15 years, but I felt like I was a mathematician. I had to figure out, when was I going to sleep? When was I waking up? How many milligrams? And one day it was not enough. Another day it was too much. It drove me crazy. When I heard that there was a silent nights patch, I was like, okay, please, immediately give it to me now, because I've been praying for this. And I have had fantastic sleep every night for 13 months. And that's how long I've known about Lifewave. Okay, so let's see. The next person is, you have a client named Bill. And Bill has had, like many of us, like probably almost every adult of a certain age, he suffered from back pain. So would you tell us about that, Doreen?
Yes. So Bill was also visiting, and we ended up putting some of the ice swag patches on him. So I'm so glad Marci touched on those. And that was, moving them around. It was really interesting to watch until we found that spot where the pain was like, oh, that's it. And then we put the patches on in that spot to get rid of the back pain. But we know that that only gets rid of pain, which is great, because we have to many times be out of pain to be able to function. And it is so important to be out of pain, but it's also what I call remedy. It's not really a cure. It's not getting rid of what the underlying cause of an issue is. So of course, then on top of that, you definitely want to be using your X39 and your Eon patches to actually heal the inflammation and, again, get the stem cells working so that whatever's causing that pain also goes away.
And the first miracle I had with Lifewave, and I mean a gigantic miracle, was that in those days I was swimming 66 laps a day. Now I'm swimming 72, but I injured my shoulder and I was in excruciating pain. And at my age, it was very easy to tell a story of despair and potential disaster. Really easy. And I was struggling not to tell those stories. And the bottom line is, I didn't have a solution. I went to 3 chiropractors who helped but didn't cure. I had a very, very famous energy worker who helped but didn't fully eliminate. And I went on the Telegram app and I looked at pain elimination with Lifewave patches. And I got 50 something responses. And I just sat there. I said, I knew there was something. I knew there was an answer. And it said, put 2 Eons on in the place where the pain is the worst, and put them on with the edges of the patches touching, not overlapping, which is now one of the 7 pain protocols that I send out to whenever they send me an email. So anyone who's listening to this, either live or when it's on my YouTube channel, please email me. You'll see my email address. If you want the 7 pain relief protocols, let me know. I'll be thrilled to send them. And I will tell you, I do not know one single person in pain and who has used patches, because I work with them. And if you're somebody who helps people find out about the patches and buy the patches, as I do, and Marci does, and Doreen does, you have to work with people sometimes. So I'll be working with the wife and she'll say, oh, my husband doesn't want to talk to you. Okay, but didn't you say that he's in a lot of pain? Oh, yes, but I gave him the patches, but he's not wearing them. So let me just say again, I say to this lovely woman, I don't know anyone who's still in pain. Now, I work with them. There are 7 pain relief protocols. I recommend trying this, trying that, the other thing. Every single person who's willing to talk to me and willing to put the patches on and try different things, the pain is gone. So maybe if you tell your husband that, he would be willing to have a quick conversation with me. Boom, the guy's on the phone with me within 48 hours, you know? So that's what we need to offer people, is that loving support. And of course, Marci, you're the queen of loving support. You really are. Okay, let's see. Doreen. So Regina is a fellow practitioner, and let's speak about depression, because a lot of people want to hear about this, okay?
All right. Well, Regina is a fellow practitioner, and she was going through some really hard times. And I introduced her to Lifewave by gifting her some patches, and she was wearing them. And she was also having very, very serious sleep problems. And those things have really cleared up. And she just seems like a whole new person, really. And she was, even before she was completely like sold on them, because she had just gotten them, she was just handing them out to people. So she gave one to her chiropractor, just one patch. And I called her and I said, why would you give somebody one patch? And I ended up sending him more than that. But the amazing thing to me was he wore that one patch and told her that he was in. That was it. He wanted the patches. He said, she told me just yesterday that he's now lifting more weight using the patches. She even told us this morning, we were on a Zoom call, that she gave the patch to a friend just yesterday. And then that friend was working out and called her and said, oh my gosh, I just want to run. I never want to run. I have all this energy. So again, this was, and I'm not saying this is going to happen for everyone, as Marci said, but this was after wearing a patch one time for one 12-hour period. So we know how powerful the patches can be, and how, you know, being able to give those to somebody and really helping somebody by just sharing this information with them is just amazing to me. So when I, like you guys are talking, when I get a client that contacts me and I'm like, oh gosh, that patch would help them, I, you know, drop them in the mail. And I was saying this morning, I'm getting ready to ship some to a client in France, because right away I saw an issue that was going to be resolved by just wearing the patches. Now, these people are also working with my program. So again, putting that synergy together just to me is amazing.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, because you and I have separate businesses and we love the Lifewave patches and tell everybody about them. And Marci, would you talk about the pricing? Because I think people want to know that. You know, the X39 price of a cup of Starbucks.
Yeah, and I love, you know, just hearing from both of you. You guys are both healers, you're health practitioners. You know, Susan, you're the healer of relationships in the mind. Doreen is a healer of the body with the minerals. But you guys fell in love with the patches, and you just chose to add it to what you could do to help people. And, you know, I'm just honored that practitioners like and professionals like people like you are saying yes to this, you know, so thank you for saying yes, number one. Number two, it's not really that expensive. There's 3 ways you can get X39. It's either $149 retail, and that sleeve I showed you is 30-day supply. So that's for a month. Or you can become a preferred customer and get it every month shipped to you for $119. But most people like to start with what I call the silver kit for $299. It's a great value. You can get 3 X39s, or you can do, for 1 X39, you can get 2 of other patches. So my favorite silver kit right now is the one of two, the Detox Kit, which is basically 2x39, an Eon, and a Glutathione. And then you go on auto ship the following month for an X39. And then you can add to it or take from it, whatever you want. Or I like the Detox Kit plus pain repair, which is 1x39, 2 ice waves, an Eon, and a Glutathione. And then you can go on auto ship the following month with an X39. That's for $299. That like gets your patches down to like ridiculous $50 and some change a sleeve. It's a good deal. And that's called the Silver Kit. So once again, get with the person that brought you here and decide, hey, I want to be a retail customer, I want to be a preferred customer, or I want to get that Silver Kit for $299. And then of course, go on a month auto ship the following month. The great news is when you get the kit, it allows you to have enough for yourself, enough for your family, and even some to share. You may want to share some and build a business and create some financial safety for yourself and others. Or maybe you want to build just enough to get your product paid for. I will tell you, you can learn more about all of this by going to startx39.com. That's startx39.com. There's videos on light, on stem cell. There's David Schmidt on a 18-minute video that explains exactly the stem cell technology and the issues it helps you with, and a whole lot of testimonials. It's a great site, Susan. So once again, just get with the person who brought you here and let them know what you want to do.
And also this will be our 18th show that Marci and I have done since last year. And we do one every month. And the one next month, September 9th, is with Marci, one of your closest friends and a new friend of mine, Dr. Rhonda Donahue. And we are so thrilled, really, really thrilled. And Doreen, perhaps there's something else you'd like to say. We have just a few minutes before we have to say goodbye.
Sure. I have just started working with this technology, and what I'm really excited to see is how I'm going to roll this out to my clients, more and more of my clients. And then I'm going to be looking at how their test results come back. And I can't wait to see the improvements that I really expect to see as they're using patches. And so I really look forward to being able to share that in the near future.
And we are really excited, Doreen, about having you back as a guest. And as soon as you have some really interesting before and after test results, that would be thrilling, really thrilling to all of us. Because Marci, when you talked about 8 years younger, and believe me, I look it and feel it. You didn't know me, years and years ago, but trust me, right? And what's really, really fascinating, is I knew that the cardiovascular system de-ages 1 1/3 day for every day you're on the X39 and the Eon. But somehow a day and a third doesn't half as exciting or a fraction as exciting as 8 years younger, And it's true. As I walk around and I see people in Santa Barbara, which is a town where there's nobody in between college students and senior citizens. There's literally nobody, so I can either look at kids who are getting ready for college, or I can look at people my age and older. My chronological age is not young, but I'm young compared to the people who are in their 90s who I can see in the grocery store. It's fascinating how different you feel when your brain is working real fast. That's something we didn't talk about today. We didn't talk about how much faster the brain is. And the brain, when you use the X39 and the Eon and carnosine, which I think we'll have Rhonda talk about next month, the brain results are amazing. Really, really, really a difference. And again, if anybody wants to talk to me about that, either if you're having an issue or you have a relative or friend or loved one who's having an issue, the difference I've seen in how fast I complete very complicated tasks is fascinating to me. And I do a lot of very complicated work with clients on divorce issues. I'm a certified mediator too. So that's complicated left brain stuff. And that's when you need your brain to be focused and fast. And I've seen attention deficit hyperactive disorder disappear not only for myself, where I would have to nail myself to the chair to do the things that I thought were tedious and technical, but now they're fun. So that's a different brain in operation. Okay. So thank you. I've been looking at the clock because I know our beloved Marci has to run and Doreen does, and I know all of you do because it's the middle of the day. Thank you so much for joining us. And again, we'll be back on September 9th with the ever infectiously enchanting Marci Preble and the fascinating and informative Dr. Rhonda Donahue. And Doreen, we are so thrilled to have you, and we will have you on very soon. We're looking forward to see your before and after results. So please check with the person who told you about Lifewave, or if it was me, please, text me or call me. I'm looking at a good friend's face right now who's smiling at me. I'm thrilled to have you on this event, and we will see you next month, second Thursday, same time. Bye-bye, everybody.